Hello. If you can't tell from my smudged mascara and my messy hair, it is almost finals week. Anyways, welcome to a new reading vlog. I actually did get some reading done today. I am almost done with Tremaine's True Love by Grace Burrows. I have like 80 pages left and I was going to finish tonight, but I watched Bones instead and I'm just too tired now. But I'll finish in the morning when I'm getting ready. I am liking it. I don't know. I had such high expectations when I figured out that the heroine is like medically involved and she like helps the poor sick people in her village, town, wherever they are. I think they're out in the country. I don't even really know what country they're in, so but I like it. It's just kind of really complicated, to be honest. Like the family relationships, there's so many characters and I don't know if I'm just exhausted and can't keep up or if it really just is that ridiculously confusing. I don't know. I'm liking it. I like the romance. It's just not as good as I wanted it to be so far. And then I haven't gotten any further in my audiobook. I am reading one by Jill Chavez. I think it's called Wrapped Up in You, but I'm really enjoying that one. I'm only like 2 hours into it, but it's really fun so far, so I can't wait to keep going. Other than that, I have just been studying, so when I finish the romance tomorrow, I will let you know and give my final thoughts. I don't know if my thoughts are going to change much in these last 80 pages, but it's okay. I do like romance right now. And then next, I really want to pick up Air of Fire finally, which you're probably thinking, Spirit, haven't you been complaining about being in a reading slump the last couple weeks? Why are you picking up a 600-page book? That's a good question. I don't know. I just want to read it. I just feel like diving into a fantasy, and it's the only fantasy I have up here with me that I feel like reading, so I'm really excited. And everyone says Air of Fire is when it gets really good and when the main romance of the series is introduced, so I'm sure that'll keep me very entertained and I'm very excited to get started. I don't have any impression that I will read it very fast, but I'm excited to get to it nonetheless. So I'm gonna go to sleep now because I studied for like 9 hours today and it's late, so I'm gonna go to bed, but I will update you later. Hello, an update from very late Wednesday night. I look like a mess. My hair is all messy. Anyway, I just finished this and I don't always do an update like literally seconds after finishing the book, but I have thoughts. I had such high expectations for this because of the synopsis and that first chapter. I was like, oh my god, she's like a nurse, midwife. In the first chapter, she helps deliver a baby. Like, I was living for it, and it was one of the biggest disappointments I've read this year, and I've had some bad books this year. It doesn't top the list, but first off, not as much medical stuff as I would have liked. It's really hard to find like a medical type book in the historical genre. So if you read romance and you happen to have one where preferably the heroine, but honestly I'll take either, hero or heroine is a nurse, doctor, midwife, literally anything. She calls herself a healer, whatever. But a lot of that aspect I really liked. I really liked the character Nita. She was pretty cool. I did not like Tremaine. I do not like him still, even by the end. At first, he was like interesting enough, it was whatever. But like halfway, 60-70% of the way through, I was like kind of getting these vibes from him, and I'm like, no, this isn't good. I'm gonna talk spoilers, so if by chance you want to read this book and don't want spoilers, skip ahead. But he essentially, when he decides that he is in love with her, and she's in love with him too, and he wants to propose and get married, blah blah blah, he thinks that once they're married she's just going to give up her career as a healer. And I know career is kind of a strong word. This is a historical, she's a woman, she doesn't have a lot of rights. I get that, but this was written in like 2016 or something, so like Grace Burrows had the opportunity to change how this historical society would look at her with a career. Like, I don't really think historical romances need to be particularly historically accurate. I don't think that's important. I would much rather read a story that is an enjoyable story to me with the morals of this time period than have to deal with the morals of this time period, which I obviously disagree with because it was hundreds of years ago. We've got a further way to go, but we've made it much farther than this. But like when they're engaged, he's like, well, once we get married, you won't have to care for anyone anymore. You won't have to go check on the sick people because you could get sick and you could die, which is fair. They had a lot more infectious diseases back then because of the lack of vaccines. I get that. But like, he just like automatically assumed that she wouldn't want to do it anymore. And she's like, I do though. And then, but at the end, when they do, so they break up and then they get back together. And there's a duel. That was stupid. But when they do get married, she says, I would rather have you than herself. She chooses him over herself, and she stops being like a nurse. She gives up. She stops helping people. She helps interview new doctors for the town, but it's 2 men and then 1 woman for a midwife. I want that midwife story. I don't care about her anymore. Like, she gives her career, a lifelong career that her mom passed down to her to care for people, for a boring man. He's not even interesting. He trades sheep, okay? Sheep. It was boring. So that annoyed me really much. And that whole debacle alone is enough to get 1 star off. And then the other reason I'm taking a star off is this family line was so confusing. I don't understand who's related to who, and I don't know if that's just because I'm like really exhausted from like finals and stuff, or I'm just dumb. I don't know, but I could not keep up with the characters in the story. At this point, I'm done. I've read the whole thing and I still don't know who is related to who, who's married to who. I don't know. So that's another star off. I just think that's kind of poor planning, poor writing. And then the last thing, so again, I don't know who's related to who. I wasn't good at keeping track, but there's a character, George, who I do believe is either the brother or the stepbrother or half-brother of Nita. Don't know which one of those. A brother. And he has been, it's said that he's been traveling the continent, he's been all over, and there's always these rumors following him because it's rumored that he prefers the company of men and women. So he's bisexual, and that is confirmed in writing in this book. It's not just alluded to, and like the character himself says it. And yet I was like, wow, this could be a really interesting story. I wonder if he has a spin-off, like where does this go? I would love the idea of seeing a bisexual character in a historical setting, because while I know realistically in the historical setting he would not be allowed to truly act on that and live out his life in a safe way, because it could be like punished with death or something. I don't know things about history, but instead of exploring that like alternate reality where we could maybe somehow find a way to make this fit into history, he just kind of was like, oh, never mind, and like gets engaged to this widow, and that's it. Like, he's in love with her. I'm like, first of all, y'all have kissed once and like had 1 conversation and now you're engaged and in love. Okay. And he like, and I don't know who said it, but someone was like, well, what about, you know, the rumors about like how you like men too, blah blah blah. And he's like, that was just in my youth, like that was just when I was a kid. That's not how bisexuality works. You don't just grow out of it. It is not a phase. And that's kind of how it was played off. And this book had the opportunity to explain this character with a modern lens and create a really interesting historical, you know, plot line. And it just did not do that. It in fact did the opposite of that. And I care more about the characters and the plot than it being historically accurate. I don't even know what year this took place in because it's not said. So what does it matter if it's historically accurate? So that was another star off. So it's a 2 stars, and I'm really, really sad because I was so looking forward to it because of the nurse healer aspect. So really, truly, if you watch this and you have any historical recs for literally anything involving medicine to make this better, let me know. I do have another Grace Burrows book on my shelf, and at this point I don't know if I'm going to read it. because I really didn't like this. I'll give it a try, I think, but maybe she's just, like, her writing and I don't get along, and I would never give up a medical career for this vanilla man. Anyway, I'm gonna pick up Air of Fire by Sarah J. Maas now. I'm gonna go start it. I'm very excited. I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember how Crown of Midnight ends. I think she got on a ship. I don't know. This is a really long book, but I'm in the mood for a fantasy and I need something to cleanse my palate after that. And I am pretty sure I'm gonna love this. So I'm gonna go start this and I will update you later. I'm sorry this rant was so long. Reading update. It's not really a reading update. I haven't done any reading. It is Monday the 23rd, I think. I had my final today, so I'm now officially on winter break. I'm very excited. I'm also packing because I am moving out of here this week. I'm quite excited to go home. So I'm quite busy doing that. I might listen to my audiobook a little later, or I might read a little bit more of Air of Fire. I'm only on chapter 2, so I'd like to get a little farther. Obviously didn't read it all weekend and most of last week because I was studying so much, and I haven't gotten that test score back, but I'm hopeful, I think. I don't know. I'm so stressed. Anyway, it is winter break. It's time to pack. It's time to go home. Time for Thanksgiving and Christmas. I'm very excited. I packed up all my books and packed up all my clothes, and I'm gonna grab just a couple more things, I think, and then I have to come back up this weekend to get my like furniture and stuff and my like all my kitchen appliances and such. So I'm excited to be done with packing and not excited for the actual packing and moving. So this will be interesting. But I'm gonna go do some more packing, gonna watch some Bones, and I will update you at some point in the near future, probably when I'm prepping for Thanksgiving. Hello, a reading update. It is Wednesday now, don't mind the cat. I am home, obviously. I moved most of my stuff back. I'm gonna go up on Friday and get the rest. But I just finished Wrapped Up in You by Jill Shalvis on audiobook. It wasn't my all-time favorite Christmas romance that I've read so far. I mean, that's a list of like maybe 6 books, but I did really enjoy it. I really like Jill Shalvis's writing. And I really liked these characters. They were very well-rounded, like realistic characters. I felt like they were people you could like meet on the street, I guess. Like they just seemed like really real people with really real problems, which I really liked. And I think she does that really well as an author. So I'm definitely excited to pick up more of her books in the future. Then I'm still reading Air of Fire. So I am actually planning on getting some more of that read today, but I also am prepping for Thanksgiving. I have a pumpkin pie to make, but I'm missing an ingredient, so I gotta go to the store. And then I also do want to take some Bookstagram photos today, or at least start planning some Bookstagram photos today. So that is what is on my list for the rest of the day. I've been spending most of the day on packing and just like getting stuff ready for Thanksgiving. So that is my little update. I will update you later. I am going to probably pick my next audiobook. I already know what it is and I can't think of the title. My Fake Rake by Eva Lee, I think is the name. It is a book club book for Crystal Bookish Life's like book club, and I think there's other hosts too. I don't know when the live show is. I don't know anything except that the library had it, so I'm gonna start listening to that next. It's a historical romance with a rake. That's all I know. So I'm just gonna go into it, but I'm sure I'll really like it. And I actually did a romance like live stream thing last weekend on Saturday. And Eva Lee, I don't know how to say her name. She was there and she seemed really cool. So I'm excited to try my first book by her. And I have quite the December TBR planned, so I definitely would like to get started on that very soon. So first I have to finish Heir of Fire, but I'm excited to start reading that because everyone says it's the best one. So I am going to go do some chores and get that reading done, and I'll update you later. Hello, one last update to close out this reading vlog. It is actually Sunday. I had a pretty lovely Thanksgiving. We just kept it low-key. Obviously we didn't go anywhere and we only had one person over, which was a family member. So I did have a nice time though, had some great food, and we've just been watching movies, putting up the Christmas decorations and such. And because it's been kind of busy with that and just, you know, family time and stuff, I have not gotten a lot of reading done like I wanted to. I wanted to maybe finish Heir of Fire in this reading vlog, but considering I have over 500 pages left, I don't think that's going to happen today, realistically. I am 55 pages in, and I have run into a big bump that I'm not very happy about. I have figured out that Rowan and Selena slash Aylin, I don't know how to say her name, or why she has like 5 names, I can't keep up, but they are related, and I know for a fact that they are the main love interest for the rest of the series, and that just makes me super uncomfy. And everyone's like, oh well, they're really far apart. I'm like, but are they? Like, Rowan is like 350 years old ish, and Selena is only like 18 or whatever. She was born recently, which that is fine. I can get past the age gap because they're fae, whatever. It's the same thing in A Court of Thorns and Roses. But Rowan is the son of the sister to the queen, and Selena is the granddaughter to the other sister of the queen. So they are blood related. And everyone's like, oh, but it's generations apart. I'm like, it's 2 generations apart. They're second cousins. And then everyone else is like, oh, but it's royalty. Like, that just happens. I'm like, yes, that's absolutely true. I understand that. If I was reading a historical fiction that needed to be historically accurate, okay, I would understand. But like, this is a fantasy book about fae in a world that doesn't exist. Written in the year of like 2014, I want to say. So like, there was absolutely no reason to include that other than just being stupid. I'm sorry, that is the stupidest thing. I don't care if marrying your cousin is normal in royalty. This isn't England or Scotland or like anywhere in our history. This is a made-up world with made-up creatures. There was absolutely no reason for that detail to be included. Rowan could exist as a character. I also have just met Rowan. I know nothing about him, but other than where he comes from, which line he comes from, he could have existed as a character in exactly the same capacity, not being related to Selena. It was, I guarantee you it could have been done. And Sarah J. Maas just chose the creepy route, apparently. So while I do think I will still enjoy this book, I'm going to continue reading it, I'm going to continue with the series, that is just gonna haunt me for the rest of the series. I hate it. I hate it. And I like have been talking to people on Instagram. I'm like, do we just ignore that? Like, all the SJM stands, like, let me know. What do you guys think? Like, how have I never heard of this before either? And everyone's like, oh, well, just ignore it. It's because the royalty. I'm like, the royalty in a made-up world. She was in charge. She had to make that decision, and she did. And it just really irks me the wrong way. So I don't think this book is going to get a 5 stars solely based on that, so I'm very sorry. I'm still excited to read it. I want to finish it in the next few days because I have a very loaded December TBR that I want to get started on. So I still am going to read it. I just am a little grossed out by that. So not a super fun note to end my reading vlog on, but I'm going to anyway. I hope you liked this reading vlog. I know there wasn't hardly any reading done in it, and most of the reading I did was complaining, so I'm sorry about that, but I'm very, very excited for all my December booktube plans. I might even be uploading more than just every Sunday because I have a lot of things I want to get done with the end of the year wrap-ups. I hope you enjoyed this reading vlog, and I hope you like, share, subscribe, and all that fun stuff, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye!